Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Absolutely Not podcast. I'm your host, Heather McMahan. How are you? Let me get situated right here, real quick. I got a extra pillow for support. Um, Man, we have a lot to catch up on, but I came out of the gate guns ablazing this morning. I went to Pilates. I had to drive in town. Which means the place is only 11 miles away. It took me an hour. One of those. So I was up and at it. That alarm went off at 7:50. And if you know your girl, you know your girl does not fuck that early with anything. Volunteer work, charity work, sex, even food. I don't do anything that early, you know? And someone's going to say, wait till you have kids. Well, that's why we're still childless. Or childless for a multitude of reasons. But anyways, got up and at it. And I mean, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but Pilates is one of those sports, because I will absolutely call it a sport, that will destroy you. It will break you, it will build you back up, and then it will break you again. And I signed up for 3 classes this week. I am going to go to them no matter how sore I am. I've already prepared myself. Like, I know that the lactic acid is starting to build up. The lactic acid is now turning into acid reflux. Like, I feel it right at the bottom of my throat, the top of the esophagus. It is like, hey, bitch, we haven't used muscles in our lower quadrant oblique in a long time. And you really pushed it to the limit. I'm not doing floor Pilates. I'm doing mega reformer, which is absolutely what my physical therapist told me not to do. Sorry, Sandy, but I'm in. I'm dialed in. I'm back. But when I was watching the Olympics, I watched all the different athletes, and obviously they all have very similar body types for whatever sport they're playing. So I started looking around, and I'm asking some of my girlfriends, like, you got a great figure. I like what you're working with. I like that. I like that. And they're all Pilates mommies. So your girl's trying to get that Pilates figure. Now, I can put on a lot of muscle. I can bulk up. So we're going long and lean. Now, there was one point where I was holding this thing called a mermaid crunch off the back of the Mega Reformer today, and my whole torso was shaking and my teeth were chattering. And the lovely gal who's running the class she's just yapping away. Yep, 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 yep. Every 30 seconds, it's something new coming out of her mouth. And I'm standing and I'm just like holding on to the back of this fucking machine, just begging for my life. And I wanted to scream, shut the fuck up. I did not. But it is difficult when you work out outside of New York and LA areas. Now, just hear me out, because I need the music to be bumping. Like, every 10th song was Lil Wayne, Young Jeezy, something Gucci, but I need that the whole class. I will say that's why I love Soul Cycle. You could just go to a class that was just straight gangster hip hop, or, show tunes, or Taylor Swift, whatever the fuck you're into. I can't go from listening to 50 Cent to Black Eyed Peas. That's a very jarring transition for me musically. And so about every 35, 45 seconds, I was getting annoyed, when I hear, let's get it started, and here, no. How am I supposed to hold a mermaid crunch when I hear, Fergie Ferg, just Fergalicious stuff? Like, I can't do it. So I'm going to put I'm going to put in a request. Wow, already stroking out. The lactic acid's now gotten to the brain. I'm going to put in a request, be like, listen, toots, I'm just going to need the Get Rich or Die Trying album. You know what I mean? That's what I need. That is what I need. But anyways, I'm hoping some of you hoes will keep me accountable. I'm doing the best I can. I'm staying off the HIIT workouts, the high intensity. I'm doing the weightlifting, the Pilates, going on my long walks. Man, I was in a really frustrated spot last night. There's a lot of different work things going on, and I knew it was going to be a busy week, and I was just getting very anxious, and I'm trying not to reach for the bottle. I'm trying not to reach for the drugs. So I was like, I'm going to go on a walk. I took the dogs on a walk, And then I dropped them off at home because, Frenchies don't go far. And I called my best friend Annie, and I'm on the phone with Annie, and we are just ripping through life's problems. She's redoing a bathroom. I'm going out to LA for something. We're dealing with family. She's dealing with this. I'm dealing with that. She's got kids. I've got Frenchies. Like we could have solved the crisis in the Middle East like that. I had my weighted vest on. It's pitch black, but don't worry. I do this one loop in a cul-de-sac right in front of my house, and then I go down another street, very well lit, but it was dark out. But I've got my reflective gear on. I'm walking on the other side of the street. I'm not on a major road. I'm in a gated community. I still mind my P's and Q's. When I have my headset on, I make sure I have awareness. I don't turn it on, what is it? Noise reduction. I don't do that. Wow, hold on. Speaking of noise reduction, I just pushed these in-ear. I got new headphones, so I don't look like an absolute asshole with the giant headphones. And now that they're actually properly in my ear, I can hear. Wow, imagine that. We're still getting adjusted to everything, but bear with me. Also, listen, I tried to do the heatless rollers last night, and this is what I've realized. For the guys listening, just tune out for 10 seconds. The heatless rollers only work if your hair is dry. You got to do a 93% chance. You got to dry it out 93% of the way, and then do the heatless rolls. They're too uncomfortable to have on the back of your head, so I just did the top, but the top's got a lot of volume, but the rest is just crinkle crunch in the back. So I've got it, rolled up in a chignon, and if you don't know what a chignon is, it's a nice French twist with a clip. I did the best I could. I took a shower at the fucking office. I had to wear shower shoes. We have a very nice office, but it's communal. So I took a shower here. I threw on a dress that I didn't have to pack a bra with. This is not weather appropriate. It's actually a crisp, cool, kind of rainy day. I forgot panties. We're free balling it here, but I'm doing the best I can. I don't understand how people have like a job at, on Wall Street or at a bank, and they have to be on the sales floor at 7 a.m. and they're at Barry's boot camp at 5. I'm sweating at least till 11:30. Like, I never understood that. I've never been a morning workout person. It does not give me energy for the day. Like, now I'm just going to sit in a ball of this lactic acid and just feel my hamstrings start to absolutely Charlie horse the fuck up the rest of the day. And I'm going to spend the rest of the day on WebMD just Googling, toes feel stiff. Am I dying? Did I do too much? I'm a nighttime kind of gal exerciser. Even though I don't know about y'all, but yesterday was Labor Day weekend and I was dead dog tired. Dead dog. I mean, I took like 2 naps yesterday, and we'll get into, why we're tired because of the big weekend, but somehow, some way, the anxiety kicked in around 9:30, and I just strapped on that weighted vest. I had my little arm weights, and I was just cranking the laps in the cul-de-sac. It did help me sleep better. I've noticed that when I feel anxious, when I'm getting nervous, I need to just move my body. A little tip and trick. Don't sit in the fear. Release the endorphins. Like backstage, if I ever got nervous, I start doing jumping jacks. I start stretching. I start shaking it out. Shake it out, baby. Move that lactic acid, that anxious energy. But I called Annie, and we were solving the world's problems. And, I feel very grateful to have friends in my life that I've been friends with Annie and I have been friends for, 31 years. Met in kindergarten. My friend Mary Beth and I have been friends right around that time too. Maybe 27 years. We met a little bit later on in elementary. My dear friend Katie. Like, I feel very lucky that the people that I've had in my life have been there for a really long time. And, obviously you gain new friends as you go through different parts of your life. But I do feel very blessed that, like, I hold on to folks. Usually against their will. But I told Annie, Mary, and Katie, I said, listen, girls, if y'all just hang tight, I know that you're paying for dinners now, but if you hang tight, eventually something in my career will happen where I will be able to pay for dinners. And there is not a bigger blessing or a greater thrill that I get than to go out with, my Miranda, Annie's Miranda, Mary Beth Carey, Katie Charlotte, and I'm Samantha. Go figure. I love being big bitch daddy Samantha buying dinner for the girls. And they fight me every time. And I go, listen, you hoes, y'all have kids. Put that $120 for the 6 dirty martinis we had. Put it in the child's fund. Or you know what? Come to Pilates with me, bitch. I love it. But yeah, I was on that night power walk, just cranking. And I did realize about 75% of the way through the walk that I was screaming on the phone to Anne Marie, and everybody's Ring camera 100% picked me up as I'm hitting the loop. Like, well, I don't know what they're going to do, Annie. I don't know. What do you think? At one point, I'm just hysterically crying in front of a bush, like leaning on someone's mailbox, just like, when am I gonna be a mother? So any of my neighbors who listen to this, I apologize. I will pay. I'll slip an envelope of cash in your mailbox today. I'll stop at Chase on the way home. Please just delete the tapes. Delete the tapes. I was on an emotional spin. My skin is broken out. I'm getting a facial tomorrow. I'm coming off like another 8-day period. We're sloughing, we're lactic acid buildup. We just are fighting for our life. And I should have some like epic hangover from this weekend. I mean, we definitely partied hard. I want to give a big shout out to everybody who came out to the show in Oxford, Mississippi. What a dream come true playing my old alma mater. I'm such a proud Ole Miss alumni. I am proud to have gotten an education there, to be a Delta Gamma, and we really let it rip for the show. And thank you for letting me try out all this new material. And thanks for just being a fucking blast. You guys were an awesome audience. I know there was a couple old crankpots in the audience who, after repeatedly warning them time and time again, they even sent out an email that just to the student body that said, hey, if you're coming to the show tonight, like it's 18 and up, it's explicit. So still some old cranky cracks in the audience, but we're doing the best we can. I'm not doing the show for them. I'm doing the show for y'all. And I am I am so proud of the work that I've been doing on the road. And I loved going down memory lane. So thank you guys for coming to that show. That was a ton of fun. And one of the cool things that happened at the show is they asked me, the athletic department came to the show, and at the very top of the show, they filmed me doing the hottie toddy cheer. Now, if you don't know anything about the University of Mississippi, I'm about to school you, no pun intended. We have a cheer that we do to engage, the fans of Ole Miss athletics. Cheer goes like this. I yell, "Are you ready?" And then the crowd goes, "Hell yeah, damn right. Hotty toddy, gosh almighty, who the hell are we? Hey, flim, flam, bim, bam, Ole Miss, by damn." Listen, legend has it that William Faulkner, the famous author, wrote that song as he was walking back from the Grove from a tailgate one day, just hammered, bottle of bourbon in his hand. And I believe that this is the folklore. I have also been told this, 15 different versions of this story. But anytime Ole Miss wins a home game, you take your empty bottle of bourbon and you leave it at Faulkner's grave. I believe that is how the chant was started. He was hammered. Hotty toddy, gosh almighty, who the hell are we? Flim flam, bim bam, Ole Miss by damn. Anyways, that's the legend. So at the beginning of every game, they have a celebrity, a surprise guest that gets to do the hotty toddy cheer. So I am in this cool section in the stadium. The student section is literally right above me. I'm right next to the Rebelettes, which are the dancers, and the cheerleaders. They keep rotating around. So I am right in the thick of it down by the end zone. Primo locale to watch this game. So what they do is at the beginning of every game, when the guys are running out of the the tunnel, they blast it on the Jumbotron at the football game. And they're like, and it's always a surprise celebrity. So I have 4,000 frat daddies next above me. So they asked me to do this cheer. They come and film it at the top of my show in Oxford. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be such a cool surprise for the actual game. So, I mean, it's loud as fuck in this stadium, but I flash up on screen. And so it's me, the point of view is me on stage for this sold out show in front of, 1,200 people in Oxford going, are you ready? And the crowd goes wild. And so now the stadium is going wild. But for some reason, of course, all you can hear through the noise is one guy being like, who the fuck is that? Who the fuck is that? And Jeff grabs my hand and I was like, you can hear the amount of people who are just screaming, yeah, Heather, let's go. Even the people who don't know who I am were just like, it's football season, baby. Show me your tits. And I hear the one Sigma Chi frat daddy. He's like, I don't know who this bitch is. Get her off my screen. And that is why I do what I do. I will never stop until every single one of those fraternity boys knows me by name, baby. Okay? Yeah. I had a lovely interaction. Was this guy's name Hayden? Oh, shit. I feel like it was Hayden. I could be wrong. I had a lovely interaction with a frat daddy at the Library Sports Bar. Shout out to the Library Sports Bar, my favorite bar in America. So I'm at the bar after the show, and this guy comes up to me. He says, "Hey, ma'am. First of all, ma'am, yes, I'll take it. Hold on, let me get my chignon back up. My little twist is falling. Okay, so." Let's go back to the top. I have this lovely guy come up to me at the Library Sports Bar and he says, "Hey, ma'am, I need to apologize to you." I'm thinking, what the hell is this little cutie patootie trying to say? I said, "Yes, sir. What would you like to apologize about?" He said, "When I saw you on College Game Day, I didn't know who you were. And I wrote something really mean on Instagram on the ESPN clip of, I don't know if y'all remember, a year ago, the night after I shot my second special at the Fox, I hauled my ass up to Athens because UGA was playing Ole Miss. And they had me pop up and do 90 seconds of comedy on College Game Day. This guy, and when I discussed this last year, but man, the fans were fucking pissed. And it wasn't Ole Miss fans. I made a joke about Alabama. The Alabama fans came for me. Just men in general came for me. My nipples were hard through a sweater because it was 2 degrees out and it was pouring rain when we shot this clip. So people are making comments about my body, my nips, my face, my tits, my legs, my everything. But this guy hated. I said, "Well, Hayden, what did you say on the Instagrams?" He said, "I said, get this woman off my fucking screen." As to which every woman comments, shut the fuck up, Hayden, fuck you. Anyways, he said, "I didn't know who you were. I had no idea who you were. And when I tell you, my aunt, my mom, my sisters, my cousin sent me death threats within the 10 seconds of posting that." He said that his sister was like, "You bow down. You show respect for Miss McMahon. How fucking dare you? She's a fucking comic. She's not a sports commentator. Shut the fuck up." So he came up. This young man came up, shook my hand, and then we made a video and sent it to his sister because he needed proof of life. He needed an actual video proof that we were Gucci. He had apologized in person and we were all good. And I hope his sister is listening to this, and I feel like I probably got your name wrong, son. I'm so sorry. A son, you could be my lover. Anyways, regardless, it was so touching. And I told him, I said, "You know what? I'll give you a hand job in the back alley at the library." I did not. But it was just so fucking funny. And I loved just the way he came up to me. "I need to apologize. I was an asshole. I did not know." One of the things he got mad at is that I guess I said something, "Listen, if we don't win the game today, Ole Miss, we may not win every game, but we never lose a party." That was wrong of me to say, okay? I apologize to the psycho sports fans. I was, again, just doing a 10-second bit. I think they thought, I was like, "I think we're going to win today, but if we don't, Ole Miss never loses a party." That is what our catchphrase at the University of Mississippi has been forever, okay? And the other catchphrase is, "One never truly graduates from Ole Miss," which means it's such a idyllic place to be, you never want to leave. I didn't realize how triggering that was going to be for so many sports fans. Like, obviously, we have a great football team. I was just making a statement like, yeah, we're playing Georgia, the number one seed, but you know what? I think we're going to win. But if we don't, like, we're still going to party and have a good time. It was supposed to be a positive moment, but obviously it triggered some young men. So, anyways, I had this beautiful moment. I let this man nuzzle in my bosom. You know, he bought me a tequila shot and we were Gucci. And Jeff sees us go down, sees us all go down. He's like, what was that guy like? Very, like genuinely apologizing for. I was like, game day. He's like, fuck yeah, buddy. Fuck yeah. And the guy's like, I'm never going to forget who you are. Show is fantastic. Big fan. We did that, you know. You know how boys just, they hit, I'm trying to do a little ASMR for you. They hit the, you know, they pound it. They do the dap. They do this thing. Rim-a-lim-a ding-dong. Jacob's ladder. You know what I mean? You know when you used to do, you put your hands together and then you'd put them through somebody else's hands and you'd open it and it looked like a butthole. We did that. That was fun. If you're not watching on YouTube, you know what I'm talking about. When you're a kid, you put your hands together and you know, and then put them together with somebody else's hands and you'd open it up and it was like a butt. Okay. Well, that's what I did at my Christian education. My school. So it was just great. Ran into so many frat daddies. You know, and this is what I love, going back to college. Excuse me. Going back to college, it humbles you. It's a walk down memory lane. You know, I've never been too nostalgic. I think I'm more nostalgic about being back in college because I don't know how I survived. Speaking of not knowing how we survived. So we have this big thing in Mississippi. Like we have the number one tailgating, okay? Hence why we never lose a party. So we set up these tents. We have a chandelier. We have flowers. We have it fully catered. Like it's not like tailgating at any other university. We don't tailgate. You know, you call it a tailgate because you take the back of the truck and you lay it down and you sit on, I guess what it is, the tailgate of the truck, and you crack open a couple beers. No. There are no vehicles involved in our tailgating. It's chandeliers. It's tents. It's a sea of tents in this one area called the Grove, okay? Just Google it, a quick Google search. Anybody who knows anything about football knows that we have the best tailgating. We wouldn't be caught dead in a parking lot, okay? That's tacky. That's trash. Oh, you're funneling beers next to the Walmart? That's not Mississippi. I don't know what to tell you. But we had this moment where we met these two great gals from Atlanta that were at the tent next to us, and they had come to the show the night before, so we're all having a great time chit-chatting with them. And then all of a sudden, I hear one of the moms, and I don't want to refer to them as the moms, but I am going to refer to them as the moms because they're like real moms, like their kids were in college kind of moms, you know what I mean, where they don't fuck around, but they also find out. So we're all having drinks, we're having a great time, and it had just torrentially downpoured. I'm talking out of nowhere. The heavens opened up and people's tents are collapsing. You know, everything's flooding. Like it got bad real quick. All of a sudden, I hear one of the moms next to me. She's like, grab the chair. And I turn around. I'm standing at the cooler and 3 dudes come running over into our tent and they're holding this young guy. He's tall, probably like 6'1", thin kid. And he is just white. The kid he's as white as his shirt. And for this game, it was a quote unquote whiteout. So we're all wearing white anyways, and this guy is the color of his shirt. So the moms are like, Heather, grab a water. So I'm standing next to the cooler. I throw them a water. And when I tell you I saw a mama bear's instinct, this bitch, and I'm calling her a bitch, and like this bad bitch, one of the moms literally opened a Aquafina bottle with her teeth, just cracked it open, spit the top of the water bottle out. And when I say it was like bottle feeding water to this young man. Now, his friend said he had slipped. They think he had hit his head. It was muddy, but he clearly seemed intoxicated, like this kid, or he hadn't eaten and he just hit the deck. So they're calling the EMT. The EMT comes over. Thank God they get his vitals. He's fine. He's just really like shooken up, you know, probably partied the night before, was living off nothing but one Taco Bell taquito at 4 a.m. I mean, these young kids, they don't know how to hydrate. You got to hydrate. Always have a liquid IV in the back pocket. But when I say these two moms, I have never seen anything like it. They just fucking handled shit. Dealing with the EMT, talking to his friends. Where did he hit his head? He slipped? Let me see the spot. Da-da-da-da. And I'm just standing there like, put me in, coach. I'm ready to tap me in. Tap me in. I'm not great. Well, I actually am pretty great. I'm good at medical things because a lot of medical things have happened to me. But I was like, what do you need? You need ice? Let's fucking go. I'm shoving ice in a styrofoam cup, giving it to them. Let's get ice on the neck. Cool them off. Like it was like 3 big-titted blondes, 2 moms. I'm just a Frenchie mom. And I'm like, I'm just going to help from back here. It was interesting, though. This kid's sister's like crying. The kid ends up being fine. They take him away. He probably needs an IV. From what I heard, the kid hadn't even been drinking. Maybe he's a diabetic. I didn't know the extent of it. But once I saw that the medical professionals were there, I was like, all right, let's give him some space. But I did notice that his guy friends bounced. And I don't know if this message will ever get to this young man. I don't know how. But if there's anybody here who's listening to this, who has a son or daughter in college or, at that age, I just play this part for them. As soon as this young man got sat in the chair and the quote unquote, I guess, adults took over, his friends, when they heard that the EMTs were coming, when I say that these 3 dudes took off down the fucking, yellow brick road so quick, it was unbelievable. And my first thought was, if those were my friends in college, after I'd had some medical emergency and they just bounced, those aren't real friends. Okay? And I understand that the argument could be made, well, the kids were probably really nervous, maybe if the kid was on drugs. Like, he looked like he had been rolling, but I don't know how you roll at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday in Mississippi. Actually, I 100% know how you roll. Anyways, the kids took off. So I could understand that they may have gotten spooked. Oh man, we've got drugs on us, or we're underage drinking, or whatever. We're going to get in trouble. But when I say that these guys dropped him and fucking bounced, it was the wildest thing. And all of our friends at the tent, it's like Ray and Tina and Sophie and Liv and Emily and Jeff and our friends Sean and Kristen were in town. And we have all these, other friends that are there. Literally motherfucker, the lights are going off in the studio again. Hold on. All right, sorry about that. Let me take it from the top here. Okay. So, all of our friends that are standing in our tent. We have Ray, we have Tina, Sophie, Liv, Emily's there, my husband. We have our friends Sean and Kristen. Like, we've all been out of college a while now. We all immediately look at each other, and it was kind of like everybody was thinking the same thing. Where the fuck did the friends go? They bounced. They fucking bounced. And once the kid got settled, one of the moms came over to me because, one of her sons plays on the football team, and we were just chatting. I was like, way to spring into action. Like, glad he's okay. And the kid was okay. And we all, the first thing one of the moms said, she literally goes, yeah, did you notice how fast his fucking friends bounced? She's like, while I was giving him a liquid IV, I told him those aren't your real fucking friends. And if that ain't the fucking truth, if that ain't the truth. So I would like to, I know that there are some college kids that listen to me. Listen, one, don't put yourself in situations where you're doing hardcore drugs on a Saturday. Not a good idea. Not a good idea. But also, don't leave your fucking friends. Don't do it. That's karma. Don't do it. You got to look out for each other. And I really don't want to sound like an old lady, but I turned to Jeff and I was like, our children are not going to college. He went to Penn State, partied his dick off. And, me being in Mississippi with no rules, I just, parents always say, if my kids do a third of what I did in college or high school or, in those formative years, your early years, like, oh my God, I'm going to be up sick. I'm literally going to be up sick. My kids are going to be microchipped. They're going to have a shock collar on the neck. You so much as look at a drug. Gotcha. Because I don't know how I made it out alive. Now, granted, we smoked a lot of weed in college, and even that was like, when you got so high off like college weed, you were just melting into the couch. You weren't going out hitting the clubs, but now these kids are doing the pills. Don't do the pills, kids. Don't fucking do it. You don't know what's in this shit. Don't do it. You're going to end up so fucking stupid by the time you leave college. You're going to be like, well, I got a business degree, but I can't form a sentence, and now my face kind of droops to the side because you did the pills. Stay off of them. Everything is cyclical. You will eventually get to your, close to your early 40s, and you have to take pills to go to sleep at night because the anxiety of keeping an eye on you little shits is so intense. Or, the worries of the world will keep you up. So eventually you'll get back to the pills, but if you can for right now, stay off of them. And I don't know why, and I it's very triggering for me to be around super drunk people. I didn't grow up in an alcoholic household. I didn't grow up around, and I say that as in it shouldn't be triggering usually when people get triggered around people who are really slob kebab wasted, it's because, daddy was a drunk or mama was a drunk. That wasn't the case in my house, but I don't know why. Now just being on the other side of this shit, seeing people really fucked up, it's like, get a hold of yourself. And I do feel that that's why I would get so annoyed when I was on tour and I'd have to do these PSAs like, girls, come to the show, enjoy yourself, but eat a fucking cheese quesadilla before you come. I want you to have a good time, but I also want you to be safe. The fact that I am a voice of reason when it comes to alcohol safety is unbelievable. But also in my life, like drinking, I partied hard. I have never missed a party, but now it takes so much alcohol for me to be fucked up. 2 glasses of wine, I'm cruising. You give me one martini and half a gummy, I'm cruising. I'm still mentally clear. I'm giggling. I'm a little softer. I'm not yelling across the bar. I'm just in the corner kind of shaking my hips, grinding on the trash can by myself. So we know that's consensual. But being out with people who are like sloppy slobs are just out of control. It really does something to me. I don't know why. It cranks up my anxiety. I'm sure it's just a, maturity thing. But I'm going to tell you, if there's anybody young listening, you don't want to be the drunkest fucking person at a party, and you don't want to be the last person at the bar. And I'll tell you why. Nothing good happens when you're the last person at the bar, and never put yourself in a situation where, you could be left alone. Just don't fucking do it. Know your limits. Fuck. I feel like I would tell my kids, all right, I'm locking you in the basement. Oh, you're 18 now? Great. This is what's going to happen. You're going to get drunk, and I'm going to keep an eye on you, and you're going to know your limits, and then you're going to have the worst fucking hangover of your life tomorrow, and then you're going to realize what you can and can't do. Oh, we can only do 3 Cosmos as opposed to 10. Well, mama knows best. Am I going to be bad cop? Jeff always says, he's like, when we have kids, I can already tell you're going to be bad cop. I'm like, I'm fun. I am so fucking fun. But I'm wound up tight these days. I am a little bit. It's just, I don't know. I'm not even trying to be heavy about it, but maybe it's because I lost my dad. Like, I definitely think since my dad passed, I have a sense of like, well, shit could go wrong. You know what I mean? Shit could go wrong. So when I see people excessively drinking, I'm just like to the point where they're unable to take care of themselves, or they're, it changes their personality and they become angry or volatile or just like hysterically crying in the corner. I'm kind of like, this doesn't serve us anymore. What are we doing here, guys? I'm a two Mick Ultra and a cigarette kind of mood. Shout out to Mick Ultra. I don't know. I would love a sponsorship. But when I tell you I was crushing Mick Ultras this weekend, nothing fresher, crisper, low carb. It was fun. I love it. And Big Daddy Jeff's crushing the Zins, which I don't know how I feel about those. I need to do a little more research. But we were letting it rip. We had a great time. But man, seeing these kids just run off and leave their friend reminded me of just, especially girls, if you're listening, you take care of your fucking girlfriends. And there's going to be one girl in the group. Her name's Annabelle. And she's going to be, she doesn't eat enough. And then the next thing you know, she has 2 vodkas and her pussy's out on the street. You got to keep an eye on her. And when she gets to the point where she's done this a couple times in a row, you need to be a good friend, sit her down and go, enough. All right, we're worried about your safety. We're not always going to be here. We don't want you in a compromising situation. Settle down, Annabelle. Settle fucking down. All right, I have been preaching. I'm sorry. But anyways, great to see moms in action. I've never seen a bitch just rip off. I mean, she didn't even twist the cap of the water bottle. She just cracked it open with the side veneer and just spit the top in the trash can. And the next thing you know, she was like bottle feeding this kid water, and it quite possibly saved his life. All right, we're going to get into the voicemails. As always, you can call in 800-213-7503. Also, we had a bonus episode come out Friday, and my bad, I did not promote it because I was in Mississippi doing the show, but Steph Tolev, who's one of my favorite comedians, she's so funny, she's coming on the cruise too, so get excited. She's going to be doing her filth show on the cruise. I don't know if we've announced it, but fuck it, whatever. She is coming on the cruise, and we dropped a bonus episode Friday, so please go back and listen to that, and if you get a chance to see her on the road, she is so unbelievably funny. And my dear friend Jen Zabrowski, who shot or directed my special, is also directing her special. So it's going to be fire. So I'm so excited for her. I love seeing people win. Speaking of winning, fuck yeah, Nikki Glaser is hosting the Golden Globes. And I could not be more excited for her. Well deserved. Nikki, well deserved. It's about fucking time that they had more stand-up, women in stand-up, and also just fucking women in general hosting these things. I'm so happy for the year that Nikki has had. So well deserved. She's nice, she's funny, she works her dick off, and that is what's important. And it's so wild. And it's not to be repetitive or to seem annoying about it, but when you start to see these wins for women, it really does kind of put a magnifying glass up to the fact that there are so few women doing these things. So, everyone's like, oh my God, well deserved. Of course, well deserved. She should be hosting the Golden Globes because she's a bad bitch. But it is wild that it's like, yeah, that should have happened a long time ago. Also, I'm open to do the Oscars. I know that's usually Kimmel's gig, but I'm just letting you know. And I know I have really no ties to movies. The only movie I have ever, I've done 2 movies. I did a movie called Family that was actually fantastic. Shout out to Laura Steinell, the director. And I did a movie called Love Hard, which was a Christmas rom-com starring Nina Dobrev and Jimmy O Yang, and we shot that during COVID. It is on Netflix. So those are the 2 movies I have been in. I would like to do more movies, but they just have not called me back. But either way, I think those 2 credentials alone should be able to get me at least like throw my name in a hat to host the Oscars. Could you imagine? Like, comedian Heather McMahan is hosting the Oscars. She's been in 2 movies you never saw. That would be great. That would be great. So, anywho, I'm just happy. I'm so happy for Nikki Glaser. Go girl. All right. Okay, let's get to the voicemails. I'm rambling. I've talked about alcohol safety, things that trigger me. I've explained sports. Like, who the fuck am I? But had a good time. Dude, and side note, if you've never been to a Buc-ee's is a dude, it's a mega store. They have them all over the South now, and I believe they're expanding across the country, but especially in Texas. It's a Texas thing. A Buc-ee's is a roadside stop that has every creature comfort you could ever imagine. They've got everything from a tchotchke you could put on the wall at your lake house to a burnt ends brisket sandwich to the best coffee you've ever had to a kolache to a homemade cinnamon roll and just fudge. Y'all, I'm at Buc-ee's and I'm like, I'm going to get some fudge. And I don't know if y'all know this, but I was a fudgy kid. Y'all, I was a fudgy kid. And I know my fellow fudgy kids out there, you feel me, you hear me, we are one. It's like blink twice if you had fudgy fingers. I loved fudge growing up as a kid. It's also why my sugars were off the charts. I would go to this fudge shop up in Helen, Georgia. I would buy a Beanie Baby at the Hallmark store next door. And then I would be on such a high from getting the Princess Diana Beanie Baby. I'd go into the fudge shop and I'd get, it's by pound. I get like a quarter pound of fudge. And I would sit on a bench outside in Helen, Georgia, eat my fudge and stroke my Princess Diana Beanie Baby. And then my mom would be like, "You dumbass, there's fucking fudge all over the Beanie Baby. We can't sell it. It just lost market value." It's like when you buy a pair of Air Jordans. You don't take them out of the box. You don't wear them. Well, I wear my things. And I got my Princess Diana Beanie Baby fudged up. I was just like, pretty bird, pretty bird, pretty bird. That was me outside of the fudge shop. And I'm standing in Buc-ee's and I'm looking at all these different fudge flavors. They got key lime, which I fucked with. They've got rainbow, walnut, peanut butter. And I just was kind of staring out of the case, outside of the case, staring in. And Jeff's like, "Hey, babe, come on. We got gas. Everybody peed. Get your iced tea and your chips. It's time to go." And I just had this moment. I imagine the moment that I felt in Buc-ee's staring at the fudge was like when you've done DMT or, when you're in a horrible car accident and the car's flipping over and your life is flashing before your eyes. And it's the moment right before the Lord takes you. And I'm just standing outside looking through this glass case of fudge and my entire childhood flashed back. It just was a flashback. And I saw my first day of kindergarten, me swapping red backpacks with Anne Marie, me doing my soccer tournaments, hugging my dad, Christmases, Thanksgivings, holidays, just, I saw my whole life flash before my eyes. And then I as soon as I heard Jeff say, "Babe," and I was there, I was sitting on the bench outside of that fudge shop in Helen, Georgia. And I just looked at him and I was like, yeah, I'll be right there. It was like a scene from a movie. And I just thought to myself, you know what? You're a fudgy kid and never fucking change. Because a fudgy kid stays fudgy. Period. Wow, did not expect to get heady with that one. All right. Anyways, let's get to the voicemails. As always, you can call in 800-213-7503. I'm just going to say right now, I feel like this is a fantastic episode. I am really cooking with gas. Why? Because I went to Pilates. Here we go.
Hey, Heather. It's Paige from Columbus, Ohio. I'm calling with an absolutely yes to you coming and visiting Ohio State campus. I'm in my senior year, and I really feel like you need to come explore campus on a game day with me. I'll take you to all the frats. Jeff can come with. He'll probably have to pay to get in, but that's fine. I know that Ohio State probably can't top Ole Miss for you, but I really want to host you, and we'll buy you football tickets, yes. We're going to buy you football tickets, and you're going to come to a game. We're going to go to the frats. We're going to drink 72 McUltras.
Already knows.
We can smoke a pack of cigs, and I think it'll just be a great time. So my girlfriend's going to DM you because I can't fucking use Instagram. But love and light, bitch. Tiramisu, please come hang out with us. Love you. Bye.
Love you, honey. Okay, thank you so much for this warm invitation to Ohio State. I do think I could do a college circuit. I think it could be fun. We post up at different sorority houses on campus and we just throw these rager comedy shows. That could be a ton of fun. Thank you for the invite to Ohio State. I've been to Columbus. It's great. I will come to Ohio State. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, there is no other college in this world that Jeff hates more than Ohio State because he was a Penn State fan. Now, again, I don't understand what people do up in the Northeast. I don't understand what kind of, lack of love they got as children. But the I hate Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State for life. I get it. I get it. As an SEC girl, we hate Alabama. We hate Mississippi State. I get it. But at the end of the day, if you think that your girl's not going to show up and have a good time, you must not know me. Whether or not Jeff is he's going to listen to this like in 3 weeks. I'm not going to mention anything to him. He's behind on the podcast, but he does listen. And he, out of the blue, is going to text me. I know exactly how this is going to happen. I'm going to be on the road. I'm going to be in a meeting. And he's just going to text me, what the fuck is this bitch talking about? You're not going to Ohio State, bunch of losers. Because that's how much Jeff hates playing Ohio State in football. Obviously, because you're a good sports program. Okay, that's very obvious to me. But this is exactly how that conversation's going to go down. I already know. This bitch has a lot of nerve. I'm sure she's a lovely gal, but fuck the Buckeyes. I already know how this conversation's going to go down. And we were driving home from Mississippi on Sunday, and I said, Jeff, when it comes to Michigan or Ohio State, who do you hate more? And he's like, oh, easy, Ohio. Ohio State. I mean, fucking assholes. Michigan, fun town. Ann Arbor's cool. So, I'm gonna leave him home for that one. But I will come, and I will absolutely, I would love to do a show there. I would love to come giggle, because I have no beef. You know what I mean? Honey, my beef's wagyu. I'm cruising. I'm a cut above the rest. You know what I mean? Look at me using steak analogies that don't really make sense. But that would be fantastic. And I went to the Delta Gamma House, which is my sorority alma mater, while we did a really cool collab with Show Me Your Moo Moo, and I gifted all the Delta Gammas, one of our signature rompers that I wore at the game. And anyways, we just had the best time. And I'm walking through the Delta Gamma House, and I'm so proud of the girls. They had this huge rush, and everybody is so fucking smart. And can I tell you what was really eye-opening for me? How many girls either had full-time jobs, were, school photographer. They're on, we have the Rebelettes, which are the dancers that are on the sidelines. We had cheerleaders. I mean, we had all these things back when I was in school, but I did not have the maturity to do anything but go to my theater classes, party at the frats, and hold my head out of a window in front of the Zaxby's down by the Walmart, trying to keep last night's dinner down because I had partied too hard. I truly was so impressed. I talked to our president for a long time, and I just said, girl, you're doing a great job. You're in charge of 600 women. This is a lot. And I was so truly impressed with how these kids are involved, student body, doing the thing, fucking, running the Spanish club or whatever. And I was like, y'all. I was an officer in our sorority. I was pledge class president, and then I was new member educator. So that means I was in charge of teaching the younger girls that were coming in about the science and the history of Delta Gamma. And I missed every meeting that I was in charge of because I didn't know how to write it down. So I feel like I have so many regrets of things that I could have done but didn't because I was maybe had undiagnosed ADHD. But regardless, was so truly impressed with how kids are on their shit. Also, I said, these kids work out. Everybody's in crop tops. We didn't fucking work out. There were 2 elliptical machines at the Turner Center, which was our on-campus gym. And it was always some guy from Pi Kappa Alpha, Pikes, as we called them, and who was just roided out, just doing dick presses, on the machine next to you. And you're like, can I use the machine? He's like, no, the creatine just kicked in. Hey, you want to go to a formal with me? And you're like, no, I don't. No, please walk away. These kids go to Orange Theory Fitness now and do shit. I'm wildly impressed. And I get it. It's because social media. You know what I mean? You can't you can't be on Snapchat and not have your shit together. And I don't mean just being thin, although I did hear somebody, oh my God, I heard the best thing. I heard a girl at the bar, she's like, honestly, there's no fucking excuse. Now with Ozempic, if you're still fat, you're just fucked. I was literally, I had a Mick Ultra in my hand and I turned around in slow-mo and I was like, what was that? there's no excuse. I mean, and especially, there's nothing better than when you hear somebody say something insane with a thick country accent. There's no excuse. Now with Ozempic, if you're still fat, you're just fucked. I'm crying laughing. I was like, well, she's got a point. She's got a point. Crying laughing. I fucking love it. But yeah. Y'all remember when I played Columbus, Ohio, or was it at the Cleveland show? And I told you guys to bring me Buckeyes because that's one of my favorite little peanut butter chocolate treats. And a woman impaled me in the pussy with the Buckeye treat. She stood up and she just threw a whole bag and it hit me right at the top of where my urethra and my vagina meet. And I wasn't right for a week. So I'm still trying to get over that. But yes, I will come to Ohio State and we'll party. Let's get to the next voicemail.
Heather, it's Caroline and Brittany.
Double
We're
trouble.
currently sitting up here at Martha's Vineyard, and I think we might have the biggest absolutely not that we've encountered so far here in the great New England, Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
Adirondack chairs. Absolutely not to Adirondack chairs.
Absolutely not. I mean, I can't get out of them.
Like too low to the ground. We're here having a spritz here, watching the sunset. We can see the ocean here. Let's sit down to a beautiful meal. We might be stuck in these chairs for the rest of the night.
I might be stuck here. It's not the worst thing, honestly. But
yeah, but absolutely not the Adirondack chair. You get in there nice and comfy, but you can't get out.
Can't get out. The
And
angle.
The angle, yeah.
angle's
The
wrong.
angle. So absolutely not to that. I hope you had a beautiful summer and hope you got to the lake.
Love and light.
Love and light. Toodaloo.
Love and
Bye.
light, girlies. Thank you for calling in. Man, an Adirondack chair it's tricky. Absolutely not to Adirondack chairs. I agree with you. Got a really deep low back. It is comfortable, while you're able to kind of kick your feet up and really sprawl out. Not a flattering angle, though. No one has ever had perky tits in an Adirondack chair. You're just kind of, you're shoved so far back and your legs are kind of dangling down. You just look like a fat baby walrus. Just, oh yeah, the Chaparral Spritz is delicious. Look at that sunset. Oh, that's incredible. And then, God forbid, somebody's like, rings the dinner bell and you got to get to the fucking front of the buffet line and you're in an Adirondack chair. Not fucking happening. Not happening. You better hope that somebody ties a rope around your waist and just hauls ass in a Toyota Tacoma to get your ass out of that. You can't get out of an Adirondack chair, on your own free will. There's no way. You got to have 3 fucking people help you out of one of those. Backs creaking, knees are clacking. And if you've ever been outside of like a country club and they have the Adirondack chairs and you hear people just, Carl, it's always like some woman calling out for her husband, Ron, I'm stuck. That is a panicked feeling. Being stuck in an Adirondack chair, panic feeling. You know what I would do? I would swap an Adirondack chair for a rocking chair. Love it. There's something about going back and forth it calms the central nervous system. I got rocking chairs for my house in Mississippi. I like it. It's been too hot to sit on the front porch, but damn it, when it gets below 65, my ass is going to be in a sweater with an Aperol Spritz or a Mick Ultra just rocking back and forth on that chair. Just nothing better. You know why I fucking loved a Cracker Barrel? Because while you're waiting to get your 10-stack pancake dinner, you're outside just stemming on a rocking chair. Absolutely just going back and forth, cruising. And see, that's probably so smart. They put rocking chairs outside of restaurants that have long waits because it calms you down. Anybody who has ever sat in a rocking chair, if that doesn't automatically put you in the arms of your mother or back in the womb, like scientifically, I get why they did it. I bet if you went and dug through the archives of market research, they found out that they strategically put rocking chairs outside of a Cracker Barrel to calm people down. Think about how hungry country folk are coming out of, their Southern Baptist revival that they've been at all morning. They're like, I got to get that 10-stack pancakes. Debbie, what's the wait? And she's like, damn it. It's going to be 45 minutes. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to just sit outside. And then as soon as Big Daddy sits in that rocking chair, he's like, you know what? The world's a beautiful place. And I think my cousin's gay, but that's all right. I should talk to him about his feelings and let him know that I accept him and love him. You know? Wait a minute. I'm on to something. This might be a new bit. Okay. I might have to use this in stand-up. Sorry. Wait, I'm on to something here. Imagine if they had rocking chairs outside of like the UN summit. And it was just like North Korea and Putin just sitting back rocking. They'd calm down. They would literally calm down if you were just sitting in a rocking chair. Maybe that's what they should do for like family therapy. Divorce court. Put out a rocking chair. Fuck jury duty. If I could sit and just kind of rock back and forth and really, you know, and if an argument gets heated, you can kind of rock yourself and then propel yourself out of that situation. If you got to sit down and have like a sit down conversation with someone, don't do it in an Adirondack chair. Because if you're like, fuck you, I got to go, you're not getting out. Then you have to be nice to that person because you need them to help you get out of the fucking chair. Yeah. Wow. I am so incredibly intelligent that I just figured that out. Okay. I'm going to start doing a little research. I feel like there's some poll. There's got to be some stats, some numbers about the positive feedback folks get from being in a rocking chair as opposed to an Adirondack chair. Man. Hope you had fun in Martha's Vineyard. I was thinking of, I think I'm going to rent a house for the month of August or even maybe July, whether it be Martha's Vineyard. I know Nantucket's insane. I got to get Robin somewhere for a month. I just got to do it. I want to do something where I can take the dogs. I need to find a place where I can take her for the month and she can get out and meet some new people. I mean, I've been feeling it with my mom recently. You know, she's been just really, it's coming up on the 10-year anniversary of my dad passing, and she has been in her feels, and she's like, you know, I know I need to get some new friends and branch out and, you know, just have new opportunities. I think she's stuck in a little bit of a rut of doing the same things. And y'all, I can only do so much. I try and take my mom everywhere. I try and take her out. You know, we have date nights. I try and do positive things with her. But, you know, she said the other day that really crushed me. She was like, for the first time in my life, I just don't feel like protected. And, you know, obviously my husband and I take care of her. But I think it's one of those things where it's just like, you know, she feels just kind of, I don't want to put words in her mouth. I think what she was trying to imply is she just doesn't feel like she's settled or she's in like a weird space of kind of this unknown. So I think it would be cool. If anybody has any suggestions, I know it's a year away, but I'm trying to be proactive, not reactive. I think I want to take the whole house and just pack everybody up. Maybe go to the Yellowstone Club. I don't know. Robin likes to be close to the ocean, but any suggestions, please slide my DMs. I need a rental for at least a month so Robin can go meet some new people, maybe join like a sailing club of Nantucket or some shit. Somebody tell me where to take her because I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. You know, I don't know what to do. I'm doing the best I can and I don't know what to do. And it never feels enough. And I feel like I'm failing as a daughter all the fucking time. And I just, you know, want her to be happy. And I don't know what to do. Okay. Well, that took a dark turn. All right. Let's get to this next one.
Hi, Heather. I am going to remain anonymous, but I have an absolutely not for you.
Hit me.
Absolutely not to events scheduled after a wedding, as in exit brunch or what I recently attended, a reversal dinner. So instead of a rehearsal dinner, it was a reversal dinner the day after the wedding. What are we doing here? Like, why can't we end on the high note? The wedding. Don't make me come to your exit brunch and relive the jackassery of whatever I probably did the night before. Everyone's hungover. No one wants to do this. I understand an exit brunch if you are at a true destination wedding and you're on the Big Island at the Four Seasons and you're going to have a bomb-ass brunch the next day. Sure, totally get that. But outside of that, I don't understand. Am I just a wedding Grinch? What are your thoughts? Do you think that events should still take place after the peak event, which is the wedding? Let me know. All right. Love and light. Bye.
Love and light. I have never heard of a reversal dinner, but we are getting greedy at this point. Now, you made a good point. A brunch when you're on at a destination is totally acceptable, and it's just another meal hosted by the bride and groom. It's a hungover brunch, or just everybody's got to get up and eat the next day. So I think that's fine. I never understood the going away brunches where people had to be dressed. Like, if you had to be dressed up nice and you had to host people, like, fuck that. It is come as you are. I don't care if you're in your hotel robe and slippers. I'm not asking my wedding guests to do anything. Now, I had a party the night after, but it was for everybody who hadn't left. Like, the day after the wedding, a lot of people left to go explore different parts of Italy or, fly home or whatever. So we just had it was like 40 of our friends. We got 2 giant tables at a restaurant next door to the hotel, and we just ended up partying harder than the night of the wedding. Like, when you're actually so hungover, you're like, as Ray would say, the only way up is through. We just started just cranking out wine and ended up out till 6 a.m. the next night as well. But again, that was, if you want to, who's around? We're in a group chat. What's everybody want to do for dinner? All right, well, I've got 40 spots at this place. Let's go and just have a steak dinner and a spaghetti dinner and just tear it up. And then, of course, naturally, because my group likes to dance and have fun, we ended up at the club. But regardless, having a sit down, you've got to come, there's a nameplate, you got to be back in a suit or whatever. No, it's too much. It's too much. I think this rehearsal dinner, that all that bullshit is so stupid. Just have a welcome party. See everybody before the wedding. It is such a better vibe at your wedding when people aren't showing up to the wedding not knowing anybody. If you have a welcome party, it can be casual. You can do fucking barbecue and everyone's just drinking and hanging out together. Then the next day at the wedding, people already know each other. And so that way your guests have even more fun because they're already familiar with the fucking crew. I don't know. I love everybody at the same table. I'm like, are we having fun? Are we having fun? I could have had a mental breakdown, but I'm like, you're going to have fun. Are you having so much fun? I love having fun. I love having fun. I know this is my wedding, and I didn't do anything to prepare myself mentally, physically, or emotionally before this, but are you having fun? Like, it's absolutely a people pleaser psychotic issue that I have. I think it's just because I'm an entertainer, But yeah, the reversal dinner, get the fuck out of here. I would say reversal dinner. Yo, everyone's hungover. 6 p.m. We're going to have hangover margs and like a pizza party. You good? Or we're going to the steakhouse because everybody wants like a ribeye. Come if you want. Usually the goodbye brunches are honestly usually for the older crowd. It's for the adults, the grandparents, anybody who, didn't black out at the wedding. It's for them to say goodbye. But also it's like, just go hug grandma. Say, Granny, I love you. I'm going on my honeymoon. Surf's up, bitch. See ya. It's all getting to be too much all the time. But I'm giving genuine advice. I think have a welcome party, and then the next day, whoever is staying. And I do think the day after your wedding, it is so much fun to hang out with your friends in like we're all at the pool, we're all at the beach, we're all hung over in the mountains, like everyone's in the same cabin, and we're all doing weird shit together. That is fun. But you come as you are. Come in your pajamas. Come in your sweats. Come in the dress that the zipper broke and we got to call the fire department to get you out. Come as you are. Come as you are, baby. That's the way to live the life. But yeah, brides are getting greedy. Everyone's getting nuts. And if you're, I know a lot of people have gotten engaged recently, obviously, circle of life, cycle of life. But if you're in a situation where you're planning a wedding and your family's barking down your neck for certain shit, tell them to honestly be like, hey guys, fuck off. This is my day with my partner, my spouse. Like, let me fucking live my life. This wedding isn't for grandma. This wedding's for Gigi AKA it's your girl. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. All right. I could literally do a 2-hour episode, but I'm going to let y'all get out of here. I'm pissed. I'm triggered. We're doing the most. We're all figuring life out. But, if you have a stressful week, go get a rocking chair. I may actually go to Home Depot. I'm going to call Jeff as soon as I get out of here and say, meet me at Home Depot. We need 2 rocking chairs for our house at home. I do think I need to get in that rocking chair. And I think maybe, my night walks are very, very beneficial. But I think maybe sitting on my back porch and just kind of rocking back and forth would help me make better decisions and help me be a better person. So if you see a local Cracker Barrel, if you're out on the open road and you see an exit, just go get an iced tea and a couple trinkets in the lobby of the gift shop at the Cracker Barrel, and maybe just sit outside and drink your iced tea and get in touch with your deep thoughts. Because I'm just saying, maybe if we rocked a little more, we wouldn't be so angry. So anyways, that's my food for thought. Okay. Anyways, I love you. I mean it. I will see you guys on the next episode. As always, you can call in 800-213-7503. I love you. Have a great freaking week. And I'll see you next week. Also, we have some very, very, very exciting things that I'm doing in the next week. I'm doing some huge fucking podcasts. We've got some huge guests coming on. I know I say that all the time, but I'm going to be in LA. So we're actually doing it. I'll let you guess, but get excited. And then I'm going to be back on TV. Again, I don't know what I'm allowed to say, but get excited. We'll announce this week or next week. All right. I got to go. Love you guys. Bye. Ciao, Bella. Arrivederci. See you on the next episode of Absolutely Not.